Hey, welcome back. We're back in the kitchen with Chef Mark Vaccaro. He is the executive chef at the Oshkosh Country Club. Usually does more gourmet things, but we gave him a mission to make dinner for four, a really nice dinner for under 25 bucks. And man, we've been cranking out some good food here. You couldn't even tell it's budget friendly. We got the rigatoni with that wonderful beef sauce, the brajol stuff, which is pork.
We have, it's basically, you can use veal, beef, pork. We use this case since it was the most economical. We stuffed it with the Parmesan, the fresh herbs. We've got some fresh sausage in there, rolled it, seared it, and let it simmer.
Great salad, and we're going to do some garlic bread to kind of round out this meal. But I got to have dessert. I don't know about you. I'm working up an appetite.
Well, I have a very simple dessert here that can take on an elegant taste for things that everybody has in their pantry. Okay. So for everyone that has children in the house, they always probably have chocolate chips that are hanging out in the house. Okay, and so what we're going to make is a chocolate cappuccino pudding, which will be very simple.
Sounds good to me.
So the way that we're going to start the pudding off is we're going to make a custard. What I did was separated some eggs here. And I'm going to go ahead and get those, double it in size.
How many eggs?
I went ahead and took 5 eggs.
Okay.
Cracked them, and it's just 5 egg yolks.
Okay. All right. I'm going to heat over here. I've got 2 cups of heavy whipping cream.
So over here we've got our whipping cream, which we're going to go ahead and combine a little bit of vanilla extract. We're going to combine a half cup of sugar. Okay. And we'll go ahead and whisk that to incorporate that. And we're going to bring that to a simmer.
Get my whisk. All right, and we've got one more pan over here.
So one more pan is what we want to get working on is the cappuccino cream. Okay. So what you can do is from either last night's espresso or this morning's coffee, any coffee that you have left over, we're going to take a little 1/4 cup of sugar, and we're going to pour that coffee in there, and then we're going to bring that up to a simmer and let that reduce down until it turns into a little bit of syrup. Okay. And then when it has a syrup consistency, we'll take that off and we'll put that in the refrigerator to where it chills down and it's a nice syrupy texture.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then the next thing we're going to do is take the cream.
More cream?
Okay. So now we wait for all that to incorporate.
Okay.
Our eggs. So with the eggs, they'll go ahead and triple in volume. They get nice and airy.
Okay. Real yellow. Real pretty. Nice. And I think my cream, basically I'm always nervous when I'm heating cream. So I just want to, I don't want a heavy boil.
You don't want to boil it. All you want to do is just kind of bring it up to a simmer and hold it underneath the simmer where it's got little small bubbles that are coming in. Okay. And what we want to do is once the sugar becomes dissolved and melts into that cream, we're good to go.
Okay, great. And we already have some of the coffee syrup nice and cooled, and you can kind of see how it thickens up and gets really good.
So now at this point, we're going to go ahead and temper our eggs. Okay. So what we want to do is take a little bit of the cream at a time.
You don't want scrambled eggs is what we're
We don't
trying
want
to do.
scrambled eggs. This cream is so hot that it would actually scramble eggs. So what we want to do is put a little bit in, whisk that up so it slowly brings the eggs up to temperature.
Okay. I think it's all about being creative when it comes to saving a buck. I mean, we're using leftover coffee. We're using, stuff like you said. We've got some sugar. We've got some chocolate chips. Thinking outside the box.
We'll think it simple. You try to think it simple. And the hardest thing for me as a chef is to try to keep it simple and not add more ingredients than are necessary.
Right. The in thing now at a lot of the fancy restaurants from New York to LA, they're going back to this rustic comfort food that fills your belly, doesn't cost a lot of money, but it's just satisfying.
Okay, so what we'll do is now we'll take this and we'll bring this up to, we'll heat the cream up with the egg mixture up there until it gets to about 160 degrees or until it starts to tighten up and coats the back of the spoon. Okay. Okay, and so once it coats the back of the spoon.
Starting to look like pudding.
Absolutely. Okay. Then what we do is we take our chocolate chips. I have about 7 ounces of chocolate chips, and then we'll fold that in.
They'll melt right away.
And then they melt right away. And what you do is you leave this on the counter and you wait for it to come to room temperature, and it's got a nice soft consistency on there. But then that'll turn a nice chocolatey color. If you have any chocolate liqueur such as dark cocoa or Godiva or whatnot, you can pour that in there to just kind of give it that liqueur taste.
That's expensive though, so if you don't have that,
so keep that out. If that's not in your pantry, leave that out.
But a little dab will do you. Some of these,
and it just, it's like a teaspoon. That's all you need.
When you buy like a Marsala wine, or invest in that, you'll have it for like a year,
or
more.
Okay, so what we do is we'll let that cool, and then next we're going to make our cappuccino cream.
Okay.
When our coffee turns down, it'll make a nice syrup here that we put in, and we're going to add a little more cream, so we put about a cup of cream in there.
Whip that up.
And then we whip that up.
Let's get that going.
So when all said and done with the pudding, we end up with a nice soft pudding here, which you can take coffee cups at home.
That looks like the richest pudding I've ever seen there, Mark. And so how fun to put it actually in a coffee cup. Which we all have those.
Yeah. And if we have any fresh berries, such as strawberries that might be laying around, we can take those, cut them.
I think our cappuccino cream, do you want it real fluffy?
Well, you want it fluffy, but you don't want it to where it's going to be, you don't want it too stiff.
Okay.
So you want it kind of like a whipped cream consistency.
Okay, I'm going to give that a couple of minutes. We're going to take a break and finish this up. By the way, all the recipes we did today, you'll find them on our website, and we'll be back to wrap things up. We'll whip this cream and can hardly wait to find a spoon and dig in.